Hello everybody and welcome to Olympic Park for what is an historic occasion in the National Rugby League. It is the Melbourne Storm taking on the North Sydney Bears. The Storm, of course, 3 wins from 3 games to start the season. On Wally Lewis, there's nothing to say they won't make it 4 here against the Bears tonight.
No, all except a very difficult North Sydney pack. They've been playing good football over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure that they're going to want to add another couple of points to their premiership total at the moment.
The Melbourne Storm's forwards themselves have been holding their own very nicely.
That's been the real surprise, I think, over the competition. Everyone thought that they were going to have a couple of good players. Maybe they'd put their nose up every now and then in the competition, but Glenn Lazarus has led from the front, and I'm sure that's the part that really has gained them respect from other teams.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is going to win it?
Yeah, thanks. Put me under the pressure. I'd like to see Melbourne win. I think it'd be great for spreading rugby league, especially down here in Victoria, but I think North Sydney have just got too big a pack, and they've got too much experience on board, and Jason Taylor at halfback, his kicking tonight is going to be very important.
All right, I hope you can stay with us. It promises to be a terrific atmosphere here at Olympic Park. The next 80 minutes of football coming up. It is the Bears up against the Storm. And we're just over 5 minutes away from kickoff here at Olympic Park. They've in fact put the kickoff time back 5 minutes because of the crowd trying to jam their way into this first ever game for the Melbourne Storm up against the North Sydney Bears here this evening. And Wally Lewis, that is a terrific sign for rugby league here in Melbourne.
Yeah, magnificent. It looks like the crowd really have accepted league down here in what is obviously an Aussie rules homeland. That shot there really shows what it's all about. Spreading the name of rugby league around the ground. Looking out the back windows here, it's obvious that there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 people still waiting to get into the ground. And if there is going to be one difficulty, it's finding seats for them. In here, there's a big crowd and it's great for the game.
Well, the Melbourne Storm, of course, 3 wins from 3 games, and look at that crowd outside, still trying to get in. There's going to be some disappointed people here. You would think they may miss the start of the game, a good portion of that crowd, because they can't stop the game forever.
Yeah, and that bottom right-hand section of our screen, that probably will go to about 100, 150 metres away from where the ground is. Obviously seeing one of the girls climbing up, trying to get a better look at rugby league in case it starts a little bit earlier, and she can't quite get the chair. But really, Melbourne people, you've got to pay credit to them. They are the true sports fans of Australia. It doesn't matter what it is, rugby league, tennis, anything. We played a couple of games down here, State of Origin, also test match footy, and both times when we played down here it was chock-a-block, and really no one had any idea what the game was about.
Huge contingent of fans still trying to make their way into the stadium as the Bears come out of the race, go across the running track. They get a healthy round of boos from this home crowd as well. A very cold reception for the North Sydney Bears on what is a very mild evening here in Melbourne. The Bears will be happy that the temperature is a rather kind one to them as we take a look at their starting lineup. Matt Sears, the fullback, of course. The halves have been in great form. Ben Ikin and Jason Taylor. And what a forward pack that is. The coach, of course, is Peter Louis.
Well, here they come, and you can just imagine the weight that's on Lazo's shoulders there at the moment. We were talking about being a little bit of noise here just a few moments ago, but I don't think it'll be anything to match the noise once the crowd see their new heroes here at Olympic Park.
Here is Glenn Lazarus, captain of the Melbourne Storm. They get a standing ovation at Olympic Park. Everybody on their feet in the Western Grandstand. Rodney Howe, what an impact he's had in 1998 again as we take a look at the Melbourne Storm's lineup. Matt Geyer comes into the side for Robbie Ross at fullback. The rest of the team is as per program. The coach, of course, Chris Anderson, and what a job he's been doing for them. The referee this evening, Tim Mander, he's in charge. Tawira Nakal there at number 13, the lock for the Storm. Of course, played a couple of seasons with the Cronulla Sharks. He's in great form for them. They fell short of their goal to win a premiership, but now rugby league is alive in Melbourne as the Storm running to your right-hand side of the screen. The Bears in their red jumpers, and Gary Larson met very heavily first up by Paul Marquette. So a change in the starting lineup by Chris Anderson. Marquette into the starting 13 off the bench. The Bears trying to work it out of their own 30. Oh, big contact again. Fairley was spun there by Rodney Howe. Couple of solid hits to get things going in these opening exchanges.
First points in this match going to North Sydney. Jason Taylor, of course, we've become used to seeing his skill with the boot over the last couple of years, but gee, this isn't certainly an easy first up kick. It'd be about 35, 36 metres out from the post and just 11 or 12 metres in.
The halfback and captain moves into it, hooking back. It has the length, it's there. And after 5.5 minutes at Olympic Park, the Bears lead the Melbourne Storm 2-0. One more chance, Swain at dummy half, Kamali, Grubbers, they didn't go to the air, played off a North Sydney foot, and now a penalty as well. Offside, says Manda. The Storm will have it again.
The call of offside from Tim Manda, and they're deciding to run the ball. Is this confidence?
Larkin will crash across and score the first try for the Melbourne Storm on home turf. What about that for confidence?
And I'll tell you what, 5 seconds ago, Chris Anderson was ready to throw a brick at him, I think, but electing to take the tap. He probably saw it as an opportunity to even the stage up, but I guess that we haven't seen the way that they've played over the last 3 weeks. They've gained confidence through great play, and I suppose if they can afford to take options like this on the football field and be rewarded with 6 points, they're going to be a tough team to stop by the end of the year.
The Bears must have been sleeping here. I'm sure they were expecting the penalty attempt to come, but Kamali, the quick tap, ran across field. It was a very, very simple play. And look at Jason Taylor there, absolutely filthy with his forwards.
And Peter Mulholland, do you reckon he took the option there of asking Captain Glenn Lazarus, should he take the tap?
I don't think he would have done it. I think he's just gone up and done it. But, geez, they picked out Taylor too, didn't they? I mean, Josh Stewart was entitled to make that tackle with him.
Craig Smith, and straight in front, makes it 6-2. The Storm over the North Sydney Bears. Swain, dummy half. Here's Nakau. Runs to the Bears line and beats the tackle of Larson before he's brought down directly in front of the post, 20 metres out. Hill shapes to give it to Guy and then takes it himself. Submits to the tackle about 11 metres out from the Bears line. Kamali, the ball in both hands, running at them, trying to find the hole himself. Moore was there.
Huge space on the blind side.
They go that side. Scott Hill will reach out and score. The Bears have been caught napping again. You said that was where the space was, Wally, and Scott Hill found it. And the Storm lead the Bears 10-2.
Yeah, I gave this kid a huge rap last year. It was basically 3-on-3 defence on the blind side, but they were covering almost 30 metres of territory. Stretching the defence was going to be a little bit too difficult on that occasion, Pete, and he's a very smart player, this kid, for his age.
Craig Smith with his second attempt, and this is letter perfect as well. Aren't they loving it? It's Melbourne 12, North Sydney 2. And Kamali, space to work in after that good run by Howe on the outside. Carlo was into open space for a moment, but it was a good tackle by Wade Horder. Craig Smith was lurking outside him. The tackle was made and Carlo couldn't get the pass away. Pressure now for Nigel Roy. He can't come up with it. A chance for Boy. Play on, says Manda. Boy is going to score. He's going to go to the video referee, but the Storm are on the rampage.
Only checking for a knockback. Magnificent kick from Scotty Hill.
Just want to make sure that was knocked back over there by the Storm.
Just about gave his fullback enough time to race up and get underneath that ball. Racing towards it. A huge, well, to me, that's gone back. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Paul Bell simply took off. A quick change across. And Marcus Bai dropping into the corner, and guess what the hometown are voting for?
Here is the decision. It's a try. Craig Smith from almost the touchline has nailed it. Oh, but it fell just short. It was on line, but didn't have the length. After that, getting the pass away was Stringer, and gaps now. Icon running through a hole, gets to Gaia, turns it back on his inside. They've replied. Michael Butner crashes over for North Sydney.
Their right-hand side defence, I'm pretty sure it was Paul Bell that was a little bit confused once North spread the ball wide. This is something you can't afford to do. There he was, number 3. Bell simply moving up a little bit, but really he did take off Benny Icon to open up an opportunity for Michael Butner.
Strikes it nicely despite the boos and the jeers from this parochial home crowd. And the Bears have hit back. It's the Storm, 16 points to 8. Well, the chant begins at Olympic Park. Oh, they go for the short restart here. It's not going to go the 10 metres. Well, I have no idea what that was all about. They trail by 8 points in enemy territory. Jason Taylor has elected to go for the short one.
I'm glad he's captain, Molly. He'd be blown up if he wasn't.
I'm glad I'm not on his team, I'll tell you.
It's just silly. There's no accounting for that. I mean, you'd want to get field position a bit further down too.
Well, Craig Smith makes them pay for it. Jason Taylor rolled the dice and lost. And the Storm lead the Bears by 10. It's 18 points to wait here at Olympic Park. And there you see crowd members still making their way into the stadium here at half-time. Well, it's capacity around the terraces and in the stands, so they're now letting fans come onto the edge of the running track. That's how many people here are trying to crush into Olympic Park. Joining us on the sideline from the Melbourne Storm, the Chief Executive, Chris Johns, and a dream start for your side, Chris, in the first half.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go, but they've certainly laid the foundations down. We've really just got to concentrate on the ball control now and make sure we finish our set to 6, and anything can happen then.
Brains, the ability of Tawera Nikau on the edge of the ruck, providing opportunities for the other, it must give them great confidence to know that he can just about tip a pass out from anywhere.
He has, you know, he is a class player, and he's playing very well at the moment.
They love it here at Olympic Park. Swain, long ball from dummy half to Hill. The cow back on the inside for Marquette. Again, Kamali was there. He is tackled 5 metres out. Numbers to the right, the Bears adjust now. Paul Bell back on the inside. Loose pass for Marquette, or Carlo rather. He was reaching out with the right hand and almost got free. They'll work to the left-hand side. Hill, a long pass, just too easy. Craig Smith scores in the left-hand corner. They're 12 in front. What a night for the Storm at Olympic Park.
Magnificent passing. Weight of numbers in that last attacking raid had it a pretty even contest, but there were 2 great passes thrown. There's the first one from Scotty Hill, right across the front, and a simple tip-on pass right at the end. I think it was from Evans again, who we just saw cut him up a few tackles earlier. It was a simple tip-on pass that's put them in the corner.
Craig Smith now can stretch this advantage to more than 2 converted tries if he can kick this. He's been on target all night. 3 from 4 before. He's made it 4 from 5.
And why wouldn't he smile?
Pokes the tongue out of the trainer.
There have been 3 real standout players from at the moment. I always like watching Tawera Nikau's play. Scotty Hill and Kamali.
He's going to score a consolation try for the Bears to catch you off, Wally, at the death. It doesn't matter. He'll score as the siren sounds. There it is. The Bears get the final 4-pointer, but the Melbourne Storm have christened Olympic Park with a victory. Now they'll go to what is an enormous crowd here at Olympic Park and thank them for their support. I'm sure the majority of them will be back in the coming weeks. They're out there on the tartan now, the running track here at Olympic Park, and you see that group of fans there who were let in onto that section of the ground at half-time. They waited 40 minutes outside the ground. A couple of thousand people still trying to get in as the Storm played out the first 40 minutes. They finally got into the ground. Saw the second half where the Storm, apart from that last try by Matt Sears, were all but perfect. The crowd's mobbing them, and the attendance 20,522. And who'd have thought, in the heart of AFL territory, more than 20,000 people would come and cheer what is their own team, their own rugby league team at that. They have done it. As I said, I'm sure the vast majority of them will be back.